Well, this is really not the news I wanted for X-Men 97. As many of you know, the show was nominated for an Outstanding Animated Program Emmy, and last night the awards were delivered, and sadly, X-Men didn't win. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about last night's Emmy, who won the Outstanding Animated Program, and why, although awards are nice, they're not the end-all be-all. Now, let's be real, I'm not the only one that thinks X-Men 97 was by far the best animated project of 2024. The show returned with an absolute vengeance, bringing back many of the original voice casts and delivering an adult story that basically knocked Marvel Animation fans' socks off. Now, when we found out the show was nominated for an Emmy for Outstanding Animated Program, many of us were pretty hopeful the show would kind of get its industry recognition because it absolutely deserves it. But it turns out this year is not their year. Now, X-Men was actually favored to win, but at the end of the night, the series was beaten by Netflix' Blue-Eyed Samurai. Now, along with X-Men 97, the rather obscure adult animated series also defeated The Simpsons, Bob's Burgers, and Scavenger's Reign. So there were definitely some quality projects nominated for the award. Now, I'm going to be fair, some of the Blue-Eyed Samurai fanbase might really take issue with it being described as obscure, because it did get some attention over on Netflix, but it definitely did not receive the same level of mainstream focus as the return of the X-Men animated series. Now, quite honestly for me, awards don't really matter. I'm going to like what I'm going to like, and you guys are going to like what you like. But I will say, for the people that work in the creatives, this is a big deal. Actually, Blue-Eyed Samurai did pretty good picking up wins for other things, including character design, storyboard, and production design. So honestly, it winning the huge award is not really that big of a surprise if you've been following this, but me and many of you, I'm sure we're hoping X-Men would get its just desserts. For me, guys, I have to say, this does feel a little bit like, well, anti-superhero sentiment. X-Men 97 was a huge hit, and clearly fans loved it, and sometimes, even though I don't have any proof, it definitely feels like these awards, well, they push back against the stuff that this particular fanbase and myself really dig. Superhero stuff tends not to win Emmys, and honestly, I understand the focus on original content, but for the people that work on these teams, they work as hard as anybody else. This was a good series, and I feel like they really do deserve some recognition for all that hard work. Now, some good news is, according to Marvel Television executive Brad Wanderbaum, X-Men Season 2 is currently in its animatic phase, and although that can take a good bit of time, this is an indicator to me that we very well will see the show return sometime in 2025, although I don't think it'll match the original release date. It's always great when our favorite programs win awards, but that doesn't really impact into the fandom that much. But I am curious on what you guys think and whether you feel like X-Men 97 got the short end of the stick, or Blue-Eyed Samurai was really that great and absolutely deserved it. Honestly, based on the trailers, I think I'm going to go check it out. Sound off in the comments below.